I'm ChangeDaChannel, and I wanted to make a video about the Friday the 13th attacks in Paris. But I've been waiting a little bit while, things came out, changed, the information vanished, and all of that. And started talking about it on True Frequency Radio as the information was coming out that night. And as I sit here now and we're sitting there then, with the panel and talking about it, I get that overwhelming sensation of deja vu. I mean, the foreshadowing, ISIS-linked social media accounts that began sharing messages 72 hours before the Paris attack showing weapons, the Eiffel Tower, as well as blessings for the attackers' mission. In August, a French national who was arrested returning from Syria mentioned instructions to attack a concert hall. Turkey that told France twice about one of the bombers over the last year. One of the attackers was previously charged by Interpol. France had no idea, did they? This is such a flashback of other attacks from the past. Warnings were all there. They even knew the attackers. Excuses of communication failure, as always, drills being run at the same time, the response, such as police state ramp up, constitutional changes that never go away, that somehow crack down on the average citizen the most. All the way to who funded armed, provided logistics, trained, and opened the door wide open for them, while the turds that shouldn't be turned a blind eye. And you have Obama saying ISIS is contained the day before the attacks. And today, the White House defends that statement. I'm like, really? What? Contained, meaning prevent from increasing in extent and intensity? I don't think that makes any sense. Or contained as in control. Now that makes more sense, perhaps. That's why they defended their statement. This is why it's not hard to see, people. There's no conspiracy theory. Let's just take a look at some other facts that I'm going to show and some other history that I'm going to show in a second, and look at what they've told us about this recent attack, what they are going to tell us in the future here, and what the reaction and responses are and will be. Then tell me we haven't read this book before.
Operation Cyclone was the code name for the United States Central Intelligence Agency's program to arm, train, and finance the Afghan Mujahideen during the Soviet War in Afghanistan from 1979 to 1989. Operation Cyclone was one of the longest and most expensive covert CIA operations ever undertaken. Funding began with $20 to $30 million per year in 1980 and rose to $630 million per year in 1987.
Mosques back again, because your cause is right and God is on your side.
Let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago. And it was President Reagan in partnership with the Congress, led by Democrats, who said, you know what, sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's deal with the ISI and the Pakistani military, and let's go recruit these Mujahideen, and let's get some to come from Saudi Arabia and other places, importing their Wahhabi brand of Islam so that we can go beat the Soviet Union.
I said a long time ago, one of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. We're smoking them out, they're running, and now we're going to bring them to justice.
Let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago.
It is destructive toward our republic because our government went to war, subsidized this, and just flaunted themselves and said, we don't have to even tell the people, we don't even have to explain to the Congress, we don't have to get permission to do it. So that's an attack on the Republic. But it emphasizes, the idea of empire. So wait and see in a year how much chaos we have there and who's benefiting from the oil.
But are you happy to see Gaddafi out?
Sure. I mean...
but you don't think that the way it was done was correct?
Well, I don't think that our CIA should have orchestrated it and buy into it and set the conditions ripe for the Al-Qaeda. See, we never had... No Al-Qaeda was in Iraq before the war. Now there is. There'll be Al-Qaeda. As bad as these dictators are, they usually have some type of... maintain some type of order because they don't allow Al-Qaeda and other radicals to come in. They want to be the radical dictator.
It's true that some of Assad's opponents are extremists. But Al-Qaeda will only draw strength in a more chaotic Syria if people there see the world doing nothing to prevent innocent civilians from being gassed to death. The majority of the Syrian people and the Syrian opposition we work with just want to live in peace.
رأى أمه وإخوته الصغار يقتلون أمام عينيه فقالوا له لا تتحرك.
رأى بيته يهدم من فوق رأسه وقالوا لا تتكلم.
رأى أباه المجاهد يقاد إلى الموت قسرا قالوا له
عد يا صلاح الدين، عد يا صلاح الدين إنا عائدون. الأم تصرخ والصبايا خائفات والبيت دمره لهيب القاذفات والشيخ في الأقصى ينادي للثبات ونمزق الطاغوت والكفر بجهادنا سنفتت الصخرة ونمزق الطاغوت والكفر بعزيمة جبارة كبرى وإرادة لا تعرف القهر بعزيمة جبارة كبرى وإرادة لا تعرف القهر وإرادة لا تعرف القهر بجهادنا ونجند الوجدان والفكرة فتت الصخرة ونمزق الطاغوت والكفر وإرادة لا تعرف القهر وإرادة لا تعرف القهر بجهادنا بالمشعل
لم يتجاوز دقيقة من الاستنشاق وسترون إن شاء الله سترون ما سنعمل بكم من أسلحة كيماوية وبيولوجية بإذن الله وأيضا اليوم أعلمكم الآن. هل تصدقون؟
Turkish Special Anti-Terror Forces have detained 12 people. That's what we know. They are suspected of having links with the Al-Nusra Front, which is the Al-Qaeda-affiliated Syrian rebel group aimed at toppling the Syrian President Bashar Assad. Now, the group was seized in southern Turkey, and that is according to local media reports. The media also saying that they carried a 2-kilogram cylinder with the nerve agent sarin.
I am deeply skeptical of any claim that, in fact, it was the opposition that used chemical weapons. Everybody who knows the facts of the chemical weapon stockpiles inside of Syria, as well as the Syrian government's capabilities, I think would question those claims, but I know that they're floating out there right now.
We've been supporting an opposition. We've been trying to help the opposition, along with our international partners, help the opposition become more cohesive. We've been assisting not only the political opposition, but also the military opposition. So there's a counterweight that can potentially lead to political negotiations. With the evidence of chemical weapons, what we've said is we're going to ramp up that assistance.
Chemical weapons have been used. Everyone acknowledges their use. No one doubts that innocent men, women, and children have been the victims of chemical weapons attacks in Syria. And there is no doubt who is responsible for this heinous use of chemical weapons in Syria: the Syrian regime. For we know that the Syrian regime are the only ones who have the weapons.
We should warn you that this is very graphic material, a video that begins with a Syrian rebel leader cutting out the organs of a dead Syrian soldier.
I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago.
Your cause is right. God is on your side.
Because when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, we had this brilliant idea that we were going to come to Pakistan and create a force of mujahideen, equip them with Stinger missiles and everything else.
Today we learned that the Muslim Brotherhood has decided to participate, which suggests that they are now involved in the dialogue that we have encouraged.
Recognize the Syrian Opposition Coalition as the legitimate representative of the Syrian people.
So today, on behalf of President Obama, who has been very clear about the stakes in Syria, I'm proud to announce that the United States of America will be providing an additional $60 million immediately in non-lethal assistance to support the coalition in its operational needs day to day as it continues to organize and work for the political transition that we all want to see.
And my heart goes out to all the people and the families that of the people that lost their life. This is just something to think about. I'm Change the Channel, and I'm out.